then all that each one had done and all that they had delivered to destruction. The book was read before the Lord of the sheep, and he took the book in his hand, read it, sealed it, and archived it. After that, I saw that the shepherds led them to graze for 12 hours. And behold, 3 of those sheep returned. They arrived, entered, and began to rebuild all that had collapsed from that house. But the wild boars prevented them, and they were unable. Then they began to build again. As before, they raised the tower, which was called the High Tower, and began to place a table before the tower again. But all the bread that was there was contaminated and impure. Regarding all this, the eyes of those sheep were blinded, and they did not see, and their shepherds did not either. And he delivered them for greater destruction to their shepherds, who trampled the sheep with their feet and devoured them. I observed in this way until 35 shepherds began to shepherd, and they strictly fulfilled their terms. From the first, each one received them in their hands, in order to feed them, each shepherd in their respective turn. After this, in a vision, I saw all the birds of prey coming from the sky, eagles, vultures, hawks, and crows. The eagles led all those birds and began to devour these sheep, pecking out their eyes and devouring their flesh. The sheep cried out because their flesh was being devoured by the birds. I looked and lamented in my dream for the shepherd who was feeding the sheep. I observed until those sheep were devoured by the eagles, hawks, and vultures, who left them no flesh, nor skin, nor tendons upon them. And they were left with nothing but their bones until the bones also fell to the ground, and the sheep became very few. I saw when 23 shepherds had fed and had strictly fulfilled their turns 58 times. Behold, some lambs were born from those white sheep, and opened their eyes and saw, and bleated to the sheep and shouted to them, but they did not hear. I saw in the vision how the crows flew over these lambs, and seized one of them, and tore apart the sheep, and devoured them. I observed until the horns of these lambs sprouted, and the crows made them fall. And I saw that there were great horns sprouted on one of these sheep, and its eyes were opened. It looked at them and shouted to the sheep, and the rams saw it, and all came to its side. Despite this, all the eagles, vultures, crows, and hawks continued to snatch the sheep. They pounced upon them. The Lord of the sheep remained indifferent until all the sheep were scattered across the field and mixed with them, and they did not save them from the hands of the beasts.